Hello. I'm Dr. Norman Shacker. Norman Shacker. I don't like the name Norman very much. You should call me Dr. No. I'm happy to be here tonight celebrating with you, Tu B'Shvat. As a matter of fact, I'm happy to be anywhere. I was born in Brantford, Ontario. Wayne Gretzky was also born there. The only difference between the two of us, I would never move to Edmonton. Tonight I'm living my childhood dream. I've finally been invited to a Jewish fundraiser. My parents never really wanted me to be a comedian. I still have a copy of my birth announcement. Mr. and Mrs. Benjamin Shacker are pleased to announce the birth of their son, Dr. Norman Shacker. Please call for an appointment. I still remember the day my parents dropped me off at the University of Toronto Medical School. I cried. Who wants to live in Toronto? Medical school was a wonderful but very confusing time. I was a socialist for 4 years. Who knew that was preparing me for life in Alberta in 2006? Originally at medical school, I wanted to be either a psychiatrist or an OB-GYN. It was either heads or tails. Wait for it. When I really thought about psychiatry, though, I figured out there was only one problem: too much crazy. I really enjoyed my rotation in OB-GYN, but do you know how many babies are born during lunchtime? All of them. I felt so much pressure to pick a specialty, I took a long car ride. Ended up in Calgary. I knew nothing about Calgary except for the Stampeders, the Stampede, and Peter's Hamburgers. They're all real beefy. Once in Calgary, I did my rotating internship at the Foothills Hospital. Round and round I went. Then, after much trial and error, mostly while dating, finally I decided to become an orthopedic surgeon. They say we're strong as an ox and half as smart. Most people don't even know what an orthopedic surgeon is. But according to the wait list, everybody needs one. Please call for an appointment. Orthopedic surgeons deal with bones and joints. We're often called bone crushers or dealers. Wait for it. Most comics can make you laugh. I know how to crush your funny bone. But there's a waiting list. In addition to being a surgeon, I'm also a teacher. My biggest teaching accomplishment? Most of my students became my boss. Like all doctors you're just getting to love, I'm about to retire. There is a difference between being retired and retiring. Being retired is golfing, snorkeling, and snoozing. Retiring is a full-time job. Last year, I took a terminal sabbatical, a pre-retirement sabbatical. As part of my sabbatical, I wrote a book. Don't worry, you don't have to read it. I didn't. It's about the Department of Surgery at the University of Calgary Medical School. It's called A Surgeon's Memories. The department, A Surgeon's Memories. Before I forget. I wanted the book to be funny. My boss said, "Don't worry, most of your career has been hilarious." I should have failed him. I didn't want to include any stories about intrigue or politics or nudity. I just wanted to tell a good story about great people doing difficult things. Instead, I wrote what I knew about. I worked on the book for 18 months. I had it all in my head, and then nothing. Turns out I'm illiterate. And you should see my handwriting. Then fate was with me. I met Zoe and the Zeds. They're not a singing group, but they're not a rock group, but they really taught me how to roll. Comics. The best part about writing my memoirs was being able to tell my own story by myself. It's not the truth, it's just the way I remembered it. The worst part about writing my memoirs was trying to get my wife Kathy's input. She didn't want me to remember the truth. Well, I have to go soon. It's nearly my nap time. Oh yeah, if you're thinking about writing a book, here's my suggestion. You get it all in your head, you write it all down, and when that fails, you call Zoe and the Zeds. I look forward to seeing you on my wait list. Thank you very much.